Welcome everybody to Standard Action here first from the New Players League between Cody Totman and Tony Jackson. Cody is at the top of the screen. We're looking at his hand now. No, sorry, Tony's at the top of the screen. He's on, looks like the red deck wins. So Cody's on the play first. He's playing, it's a green-red deck, so this is going to be a flat-out race. The very similar decks. One is splashing green, we'll see later on, for a couple of extra cards. This is a battle between first versus third. You can see our new box on the right-hand side there, 35 points against 28. A good performance here from Tony will probably stitch up the title with 1 week remaining. We're just looking now at Cody's hand. He's got the Ronus Indomitable there, and this Kenra, Resilient Kenra, that pumps another creature when it comes in. So when he's playing that as the first creature, he's not actually getting any value out of it. So just a pass of the turn. A number of options here, probably, Kari Zev will come down first, although she can swing into the Resilient Kenra, but it's just going to bounce off. But Ragavan, the 2-1 monkey, will get in for some hits each time. And as we swing back now to Cody, you can see Rekindling Phoenix in hand, but he's got to get 1 more mana for that. He could have played Ronus there, but Ronus cannot attack or block unless he controls another creature with power 4 or greater. So at this stage, it's just move it down a touch. It looks like a real log jam getting set up on both sides. Harsh Mentor I've seen a number of times. I spoke to Oliver King actually on commentary about this card. Why is it in this deck? It doesn't make sense in Standard. The general consensus was because there's nothing better at the 2-drop in red colours. Perhaps, I don't know why, perhaps that might encourage, have encouraged Cody to splash green. You can see here that he's going to double block, so that's a silly attack there from Kari Zev, because he's tapped out, there's no shenanigans going on in attack. The 1/3 is just going to die, and he's not going to get either creature in response, so I think a bit of a misplay there from Tony Jackson. So he's got a number of options now. He can probably play Ronus first, and then put the Rekindling Phoenix down. That'll enable Ronus to attack. So he's offering, but he's going to offer up a trade first. Both of them are getting in. We'll see if Tony's interested in any sort of a trade. No trades there. You can see here Tony does have a Hazoret in hand, but he can't actually play it out because, I mean, he can play it out, but he can't do anything with the Hazoret. Too many cards in hand. He could play it the next turn, play the Scavenger Grounds and the Bomat Courier, so it would be online next turn. But here there's going to be an exchange, get that Thopter off the battlefield, and down will come Hazoret. So Hazoret's going to be active, although if Cody can drop the Rekindling Phoenix, and Hazoret's just going to be bouncing off Ronus with Death Touch, but that's irrelevant here. Soulscar Mage is exiled because of the Magma Spray. So he's got a Glory Bringer, but he's a land short of playing it. Ronus is online now, but he's not going to be able to do anything other than possibly ask for a bounce. We'll see if he's going to do that. Yes, he is. He's going to swing 2. Yeah, the third one. Oh, yes. So all three come in. So if he wants to take down one of the creatures, he's going to be taking 7 damage. Oh, he didn't block any. I think there's a misplay. He could have blocked Ronus there. Hazoret is not the card you want to draw here. Rekindling, actually he's just dead. If Cody finds another land, then Tony is just dead on, because Glorybringer is going to come down of haste, and with the Rekindling, Phoenix has flying, there's no blockers on the other side. That's going to be 7 points of damage. And I certainly wouldn't have swung that Hazoret at that point. And there's the 5th land. So we're going to go to a game 2 here. Glorybringer will come down. With Rekindling Phoenix, it's 8 points of damage on the board. No blocks in the air. Everybody's going to get in. Well, he's going to exert as well, just to make sure. And game 1 will go to Cody Totman. Game 2 now. You can see there's a Death Gorge Scavenger, so there's a hint of the green, and that's a terrible hand there for Tony. He's gonna... Oh, he's kept it. I'm surprised he kept that hand. Bomat Courier, the usual turn 1 plays, getting in, just chipping in for 1. Kari Zev. So he has the pieces here, but I'm not really convinced about the green splash just yet. Magma Spray. Okay. So Tony just Magma Sprays down the 1-drop. They've actually switched sides here, so Tony is at the bottom of the screen. He was at the top in the previous match. Just keeping the board clear down to 3 cards. Down comes Harsh Mentor again. I mean, Harsh Mentor in Modern or Legacy, yes, you can convince me of that, but Standard, I think it's a waste of time. Down will come Death Gorge Scavenger, is going to gain him some life. Actually, no, the Bomat Courier has been exiled, so that's not in there. So what's the play here? He's only down comes Hazoret. And Hazoret's going to get in because Tony has only 1 card in hand. It's a land. Earthshaker Kenra. Well, I think he probably could have spotted on the Mentor there and then got in. He's going to offer up a chance to chump block now. Otherwise 4 damage is coming in. You can see he's got the Glorybringer that's going to come down next turn. But for Tony here, he's got Hazoret, but not much else going on. So he is going to be able to empty his hand once more. Put 2 damage in through the discarding the land, and he'll probably shock away. I think the Death Gorge Scavenger. Yeah, you can see Hazoret can only actually target a player. Mentor does not have Menace. Okay, he's going to remove the blocker so he can get in here with 7 damage. Going to put Cody down to 7, so Cody now needs to hold a blocker back. Chandra's Defeat will not do anything against Hazoret. Glorybringer, actually, he needs a blocker here, otherwise he's just straight up dead. Because Hazoret can do 5 plus the extra 2 damage from the discard. So he can gain life from Death Gorge Scavenger, but Tony's still at a healthy 16 life, so Cody's going to chip in here for 7 points of damage. Probably remove that harsh mentor with the exertion trigger. Gain some life through Death Gorge Scavenger by targeting the Kenra. Goes up to 9. Okay, so he's just dead on board here because Tony can discard the Abrade to Hazaret to do 2 damage, put him to 7, swing Hazaret, put him to 2, and then on his draw the next turn, discard whatever he draws, and that's the final 2 points of damage. So it's a pretty straightforward victory there. You can see there's nothing in the hand there for Cody that's going to save him. I don't know, I wouldn't have fired off that Abrade. He's going to remove the attacker. Glorybringer's tapped out from the exertion, but he didn't need to do that. He could have just discarded. He's going to concede anyway. Okay, we're jumping into a third game here. There's a bit of a mix-up. Earlier, I thought that was the match, but it wasn't, so I missed a little bit of the start of the third match. So this is the third game of Standard. Going to shock away that Merfolk Branch Walker. Get in with the Bowmat Courier. This is the deciding match. This time Tony Jackson at the top of the screen. You can see Struggle to Survive. That's going to be a good card to shuffle away a graveyard. Not so much in this matchup though. So Death Gorge Scavenger did a bit of work in the last one. And it can pump itself as well. Karizev comes down. We saw a misplay with Karizev in game 1 that was crucial. Two creatures in the grave for the Death Gorge Scavengers to gain life from. And he's going to exile the Branch Walker, so he'll pick up 2 points, 2 life gain there. Thopter can't be blocked, it's got flying, so it's just a little chipper. 19, still a long way to go though, 19 points of damage. You can see here Tony is in need of that third land. Invigorating Rampage might set up an ambush here. He does have a number of plays for turn 2, but and again, this is a play that I don't really like. He misplayed in game 1 with the Karizev doing this. He does have cover this time, Invigorated Rampage. I have no idea why Cody wants to double block that of all creatures, but this could be a blowout. It is going to be a blowout. He's going to trade his Bowmat Courier for 2 of his opponent's creatures. And Tony will be very happy to make that trade. But you can see here Cody's hitting land drops where Tony is not, so this is going to start to add up now. Another Death Gorge Scavenger can come down, and that's going to... The board has just basically been rebuilt. Or he's going to take the safe route, remove Karizev first. Clean board. With his opponent stuck on 2 lands. Missing a 3rd land drop. See if he can find it this time. No, he can't. What's he going to play out here? He's going to play out the Harsh Mentor, give himself a blocker. Does he want to bring Glorybringer here? He can also play Uncrop Crasher. He plays nothing. You can see a Thrashing Brontodon there. No, sorry, I was looking at the wrong hand. So he's got Threshing Brontodon or Death Gorge Scavenger. The Brontodon's going to be very good because we saw the Ether Sphere Harvester in hand on the other side. And the thing with the Brontodon as well is it can be sacrificed. It doesn't tap to sacrifice, so it doesn't have summoning sickness. So he can use it as an attacker, and it can be tapped out when you want to sacrifice it as well, which is very handy. There's a third land finally. So he's thinking Uncrop Crasher or Aethersphere Harvester, or even a Braid. I don't think you can really be aggressive just yet with the Uncrop Crasher. He's going to go Aethersphere Harvester. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know about the Brontodon on the other side. So Cody very much in the driving seat now because Tony's missed those land drops. So he's going to run out the Brontodon right away. So this is going to put him in an awkward position. I think he just has to use the Mentor here to block. You don't need to use that Brontodon until because the Aethersphere Harvester is useless sitting there by itself. You can actually get him with the Brontodon when he goes to equip it. And so I think the play here for Tony is just to block with the Mentor. Yeah, trade with the Kenra, I think. He's going to fire it up. So he's going to take 7 damage now because Brontodon will just in response, and you can see the Mentor's tapped out. We'll get in 2 damage from the Mentor. But that's a big one. That's 7 points of damage. Is going to drop Tony down to 6. You can see Tony just too many cards. Hazoret's useless. It's not going to do anything here. I think you just got to hold up a Braid. Maybe a Braid the Death Gorge Scavenger. Yep, see what he targets here. Yep, Scavenger down. So see what Cody can draw for the turn. Rekindling Phoenix. Alright, so the Mentor can't block here. So this is going to be 5 points of damage coming across. Drops him to 1. He's just dead to that Thopter on board. He doesn't have a play that can answer the Thopter. He's got a Glorybringer, but he doesn't have the mana for the Glorybringer. Yeah, so he's just dead on board to the Thopter. So Cody Totman's going to take standard 2 games to 1. In comes the Thopter to do the solitary point of damage. And Cody now has closed the gap, the live gap, to 3 points. On to Modern now. Cody Totman at the top of the screen, Tony Jackson at the bottom of the screen. It looks like, what is that? Some sort of Temur build up against Burn. Temur with Ether Vial. So this is a homebrew. As far as I'm aware, I've never seen this deck before. Cody at the top is on Burn. And a suspended Rift Bolt on turn 1 will give that away straight away. Now it'll be interesting to see what Tony's game is like against Burn. There is a kind of a peculiar interaction here because he's got Snapcasters and he's got Ether Vials. Ether Vials generally go in decks with high creature counts, whereas Snapcasters don't go on decks with high creature counts. The Rift Bolt to the face, and here's a turn 2 Eidolon. Well, the Ether Vial can play around Eidolon, but I think you'll just bolt that here. Yeah, just bolt the Eidolon, take the 2 points, get it out the way. Just a reminder that this is actually time walked magic, so this was recorded earlier, so I cannot switch between hands. We are looking at Tony Jackson's hand. So he's got 2 Snapcasters. He's got the bolts to... He's got the bolts to answer creatures, but he needs the counter spells to answer the burn. As you see, he's at 13. In turn, he's going to crack a fetch. Does he violin Tarmogoyf here? Yes. A 5/6 Goyf. So now he's got a clock. So this is going to make it interesting. He can actually snap bolt as well. He's going to run out Huntmaster of the Fells. So at 13 life, I think we're in a racing situation now. Skullcrack in response from Cody puts Tony down to 10. Goyf's going to get in, so it's 14 to 10. But look at all the power on the board for Tony here. Is there 10 points of damage on the other side of the board from Cody? There's the start. Huntmaster of the Fells, I'm guessing, will be down. 7-3. Put Tony down to 7 and pass the turn. 2-turn clock. He's got 2 turns to do 7 points. Okay, there's a scavenging ooze. That's going to be able to gain him some life. Goyf gets in. Cody Totman down to 7. Goes to 6 with the fetch. Tony Jackson at 7. Cody's got to win right now. In his turn, he's got 3 cards in hand to do 7 damage. Lightning Bolt and Boros Charm will do it. Does he have the Boros Charm here? He's down to 4. Searing Blaze will do 3 damage. 2 cards left in hand. Still dead to the Goyf. Does he have 4 damage in hand? 2 cards. He'll get a draw, so he's going to have 3 cards. Boros Charm. Lightning Helix puts him to 1. It's going to buy him a turn. I think that could be enough. Or no, he can violin actually as Scavenging Ooze. Skullcrack will do 3, but he can vial the ooze in response and gain some life here. Can he gain enough? He's got to get 3 creatures. I don't believe there's 3 creatures in the grave. So he's got an Eidolon, that's up to 2. I'm trying to remember what creatures, I don't recall any others. Okay, he's got another one, he's up to 3, he's got to get 1 more. Does he have the final creature? I don't believe so. He's thinking, how can I get out of this? No, there's nothing there. Nothing in there either. So game 1 is going to go to Cody of Modern. Game 2 now, Modern. This time Tony Jackson on Temur at the top of the screen. Cody on Burn at the bottom. You can see a thirst for knowledge. It's an unusual one. Got to discard an artifact. I didn't see a lot of artifacts in his hand. So he's going to get a Scalding Tarn from the Goblin Guide. A negate and a kitchen finks in hand. So he does have the pieces here. As down comes Eidolon again. Goblin Guide is going to get in. Reveals Serum Vision, so he can crack the vision. If he doesn't want the visions, he can crack the Scolding Tarn in response. No play here. Goes to 15. So he's gonna... He'll get life from Kitchen Finks, but it's gonna be offset here by the Eidolon. Kitchen Finks can act as a roadblock though. So he's going to put him to 12. Kitchen Finks will put him back up to 14. And now Kitchen Finks can block either of those because it's going to gain him the 2 life. Well, so Searing Blaze will put him to 11. He'll go back to 13. But it does mean that if he wants to block with Kitchen Finks, then Kitchen Finks dies. So I probably would have... Okay, he's going to go that... He's going to suspend the Rift Bolt here. I think I would have attacked with the Goblin Guide first. Now he's offering up a trade with the Kitchen Finks. I think the Kitchen Finks trades with Eidolon here. Yep. So he goes to 11. Sorry, the suspended Rift Bolt is blocking the life total, but it's currently at 11. If anybody knows how to default change that position so it automatically goes somewhere else, please tell me. And here comes Rift Bolt off suspend. Yep. Tony drops to 8. Goblin Guide going to get in now. Eternal Witness could get the Kitchen Finks back here, but I don't know if it's too slow. And once he's down to 6 here, then that's very dangerous territory. What's Snappy gonna snap back? Just gonna block, okay. Untaps, draws a lightning bolt. Eternal Witness. Getting back a Kitchen Finks, I'd assume. In response, is he just dead here? Boris Charm and Lightning Bolt will do it. Boris Charm and Skullcrack will do it. Okay, so he's going to take... he's going to take Modern 2 games to 0. We're on to Legacy now. Game 1, you can see the Preordained's probably a bit of a giveaway there on Show and Tell. And Reanimator. Black-red, but no... Well, it depends what build of black-red. I don't see any Chancellor of the Annex in the opening hand. That's a 2-lander, it's probably a keep. So it's Cody Totman on Show and Tell up against Tony Jackson on Reanimator. You can see he's got all the pieces except an actual target to reanimate. So hopefully for him, Faithless Looting, no, cannot find anything. So what does he discard here? Probably a land and a Dark Ritual. Oh, he does a land and an Exhume. Or is it... No, he did a Dark Ritual and an Exhume. That's a bit of a surprise. Brainstorm end of turn here from Cody. So he's still a few pieces away from doing what he wants to do. You can see a Grizzlebrand there if he draws a Show and Tell. Two, four, 6 cards. So one option is to... He'll probably wait till the next turn, I think, to flash back the Faithless Looting. And Cody Totman's actually only a turn away from being able to hardcast that Force of Will. Okay, he's got the Grizzlebrand in hand now. He can actually play the Swamp. Well, I don't like that line of play. It looks like he's going to go for the discard. So again, there's an Ulamog Infinite Gyro there. So you can see 8 cards in hand from Tony. He's aiming for the discard here, so he's going to discard Grizzlebrand in end of turn here. Yeah, Grizzlebrand discarded, so he can actually reanimate next turn. And only a Spell Pierce and a Force of Will on Cody's side, so Tony's going to be able to reanimate here. So Cody's got to draw something this turn. So here we go, he's going to go off. First, reanimate or bite the... He can hardcast that Force of Will here. But we can see he's going to go for the second reanimate. This is going to bring a Spell Pierce, probably sacrificing a Lotus Petal, yep. But Dark Ritual will be able to pay for that. Grizzlebrand down, so he's down to 10, but he can just pass the turn, gain some life next turn, and draw some cards. So this one is pretty much gone unless Cody can draw into a Show and Tell right now, which he cannot. So game 1 looks like it's going to go to Tony Jackson in Legacy. There's Ulamog. Ulamog's is a cast trigger, so yeah, you can see the concession there. We're on to game 2 now. Iona is a big one in this matchup. And you can see the Faithless Looting can get it into the grave, and he's got all the pieces he needs. But unfortunately, on the other side is a Grafdigger's Cage. So we'll see what Tony Jackson brought in to deal with the graveyard hate this turn. Straight up plays it. So how's he going to beat a Grafdigger's Cage? Thinking. He's going to be able to Faithless Looting here. Get Iona into the grave, but he needs something to remove artifacts. If he doesn't have artifact, he doesn't have it, so we're going to game 3. Oh, he's got, that's a dangerous hand from Cody. Although he milled it away, I'm a bit surprised there. So here we go, Tony Jackson on the play with Reanimator. No play, passes the turn. 2 Grizzlebrands. It's Grizzlebrand against Grizzlebrand here. Both players will be able to get a Grizzlebrand out. Again, no play from the Reanimator player, so this is a bit of a concern. End of turn Brainstorm here from Cody. Oh, he's got a Blood Moon. That could just be lights out, actually. Because you can see he's got the basic island, and he can also fetch here. I probably would have buried the Blood Moon just to be safe from a Thought Seize there. Brainstorms, finds a Force of Will in a second Brainstorm. So he's going to be able to Blood Moon next turn. So we'll see how Tony can respond to this. He's going to Faithless Looting on his own turn. He does have ways to get out of this. He's got Lotus Petals that can tap for the black mana as well. He's going to entomb something right now. Does this bring a Force of Will? I don't think so. I think you just let it go. He's going to enforce a Will. I was going to say, you could just let it go and hit the reanimation target. But I think you can do it there because you can see Tony's down to 1 card. Crack the fetch, maybe for a basic, and Blood Moon is going to be big trouble here. So how does Tony play around Blood Moon? First, he couldn't play around Graph Diggers in the first game too, so he's up against it now. Only red sources, he needs a Lotus Petal. These Reanimator decks only play two basic swamps. And you can see the hand there of Cody Totman. He's just looking for a show and tell to show Emrakul and put this one away. Cards like Brainstorm to help him dig a bit deeper. Plays out the Ancient Tomb, which is just a mountain here. 4 cards in hand for Tony, can't do anything. Preordain will scry 2 and draw a card. Sneak Attack will get it done next turn. Doesn't have the mana this turn to activate it. Pass the turn. Again, nothing that Tony can do. Pass the turn. Activation of Sneak Attack. And this one's done. Emrakul will come down, wipe those 2 lands. Cody Totman will take Legacy 2 games to 1. Just to be sure, we'll get in probably a Grizzlebrand or an Ulamog. Get all three of them down there. 32 points of damage on the board. Ulamog not very good in this deck because it's a cast trigger. You're never going to cast that. And that will be the match. Just wait, see if there's a concession here. And there it is. Thank you for joining me.